Pau, t'has perdut, si estàs al costat del poble.
Hello. Are you Padilla? People in the village are worried about you.
Escueto, Arenaixe, that I know no more if I am what you say. In truth, I fear being dust, waiting to settle on the earth.
What has happened to you? Why such despair?
My eyes have clouded. I see no more, nothing at all. I was once the great gatherer.
But by the devil, why have they sent a blind man to gather herbs?
No one knows. I said nothing to them. I know my village so well that I do not need to see to wander through it. But I can no longer gather the herbs of the sacred dye. I know they are here in these woods, but I cannot find them.
Very well. Can you tell me which plants you need? If you are certain that they are somewhere in this patch of woods, it won't be difficult.
But how am I to guide you? The names we give to these plants are not the same as the names you give them.
Describe them
Me la
to me.
descrius,
I
tio.
think I'll find them.
One is a blue flower, the other a green mushroom, and the last ingredient is a blackberry.
Very well. Don't go anywhere. I'll take care of it. Let's take a look at these chimes. Its base is damaged. The wooden tubes can no longer hit each other. We will need to craft a new base.
The shadow-faced warrior might be able to help. I saw him repair his armor the other night.
These chimes are once again in working order. I need a bit of practice.
Per què no podem fotre terrenys normals, tia? Seria, tia. Podia.
Seeing where it's been hung, it isn't surprising that these chimes are making no sound. They're far too low and can't catch the wind. Now with the chimes in the proper place, they should sound like they're supposed to sound. The base of this bell is damaged. That's why it no longer makes a sound. I need to build a new one. These chimes are once again in working order.
Maybe it like you protect me in this battle.
These chimes here are simply tangled. I need to untangle them without breaking them. There! Everything is in order. It will chime whenever wind blows upon the branches. I'm back, Padir.
Yes?
I found the herbs that you were looking for. Here.
Thank you. You're good for a Renaigse. I did not know your kind bore souls such as you. I may return to the village now.
I will tell them that you're on your way there.
Thank you again. But I ask you, do not tell them what you have learned about me. I do not wish that they treat me like a broken cripple.
Goodbye, Padir.
You are here again.
I found Padir. He should be along shortly.
Whatever made him take so long? He is not a man to be bothered by the beasts.
That poor Padir fell asleep under a tree. Age, I suppose. It seems like it would be the right time for him to take on an apprentice. Someone to help him on his walks.
You are completely right. It would be a shame that such great wisdom be lost.
I thank you, Renaigse. Your acts are as beautiful as your words. You are welcome here, and I hope you find the Tierna Hach Kadachtas.
Well now, Renaigse. Were you able to repair our bells for the hunt?
Yes, they're all working now.
You are very surprising. But I should have known that as an Onolmanawi, you would be different than the others. I now believe your words to be true when you say you desire no harm to our Tierna. You need to find her Voglendai. I will tell him that your intentions are heartfelt.
Good day. My name is Descubrir. Would you be the Voglendijk of the Mistress of Wisdom?
Bir tirtumad, Renaigse. Yes, I am among us. I have heard much talk about you from the people in the village. They like you. It is rare. We see few Renaigse here. And those who do come are quickly chased away.
Do you know where I might find the Mistress of Wisdom?
The Tierna Hach Kadaktas? I regret she is not here.
Do you know where she might be found?
You have earned the trust of the people here by helping Padir and preparing the trail of the hunt. I suppose that I could tell you where to find her, but...
What's the matter? You seem troubled.
I am. I lost my sacred seal, and I fear the just anger of my wise mistress.
Venga, ¿qué necesiteu ara?
Perhaps I could help you, if you tell me a little more.
It is a sacred stone that my mistress asked me to study and meditate with. I had it with me when I was going to the river, but I was suddenly attacked. Of course, the animals left me alone in the end, but I dropped the seal in my flight. I would gladly go and look for it, but I am alone in the village, waiting for the Tierna Hakadaktas. And what with the preparations and the great hunt, I cannot leave at this time.
I see. I'm going to look near the river and see if I can find it.
Thank you, Renaxe. The Tierna Hakadaktas went into the sacred bosque. She goes often there to meditate.
And where could I find this bosque?
To the west of the village, into the heart of the woods. There is a passage between the rocks that gives access. Be wary. This is an untamed place, where the animals are wild and numerous.
Porto matant animals tot el joc, tio.
Could you help us remember where you lost the seal you were looking to recover?
On the edge of... That is where I dropped it.
Thank you. I must leave.
Sí, animals.
Ongos.
What do you want, Renaxe?
I found your seal. It was indeed near the river.
My heart thanks you. You are a Renaxe like no other. The Tierna Hakadaktas would have been angry if I had lost it.
I must leave.
Do it! You cannot enter here. It is the dwelling of the Tierna Hakadaktas.
Very well. I'll be on my way.
You are not welcome here tonight, sir.
I regret troubling your rest. My name is Descubrir. I am a legate of the Congregation of Merchants.
Mev, daughter of Morrigan, daughter of Cardwin. What is a legate? And what could he want from me?
I am an emissary, a representative of my nation. I've come to speak to you about a cure.
Of what cure do you speak? You do not show signs of sickness.
I'm not. But on our continent, many people are dying from a terrible plague. We have named the sickness the Malachor, and none of our doctors have been able to heal anyone taken ill. We have heard talk from some of your people of a cure that is so powerful that it can heal almost anything. You would be...
My son, it is clear this woman has no intention of helping us. As for this miraculous remedy, allow me to cast doubt on its very existence. The only true miracles come from the enlightened.
You come here all the way into my haven to deafen me with your teachings of holy miracles.
I apologize, that is not the purpose of our visit. The cure, on the other hand...
Tierna hach gedachtas. I ask you to forgive these foreigners. They do not know our customs. But their intentions are peaceful. They seek a remedy to heal their people with conviction.
And what is the dedicat of our people doing with these invaders? What do you seek in their company?
Understanding, Tierna, and to learn for the good of our people.
You truly think there is anything the Renaigse could teach of any value? They come here to rape our lands, as did those who came before them long ago.
This miraculous cure that we've heard talk of, could you share the formula with us?
You are either completely crazed or foul liars. None of this makes sense.
But
Enough! I have lost enough time with your lies and your foolish thoughts. I do not know what you truly want from me. But I will not be used like some puppet. Maybe unless you protect me in this battle.
Joder, pavos. Ahora dame.
These roots are so interwoven and taut that it's impossible to get through them. There is residue. It looks as if something had been placed here. She passed through here, there's no doubt about it. But how was she able to get past these roots? This stone stele has something to do with the entry of the grotto. But how? If you have an idea...
These roots protect a sacred passage that the dedicado wants not just anyone to take. You are correct to believe the stele is bound to the entrance. You need to make an offering. In general, you place a seed of a particular plant chosen by the dedicado that sealed the grotto.
How to know which seed to place? And where would we find one?
The easiest way is to ask someone who has already passed through the passage. There is a good chance that the Voglendike has already taken it with his mistress and could help us.
Thank you, Siora. Your wisdom has been a great help to us.
Were you able to meet the Tierna Hakadaktas?
Yes, but to my grave disappointment, she fled before I could expose my arguments.
Yes, many strangers have tried to capture her many times. She must have decided you were one of them.
I'm once again in need of your assistance. I must take the passage blocked by a door of roots.
You had the honor of speaking with my mistress. If she chose to follow the sacred passage, then it is that she had nothing more to say to you. Why would I share with you the understanding of the ritual that protects her?
I promise that I mean her no harm. I just need to expose as best I can the problem at hand. Her help is truly necessary. Thousands of lives are at stake.
Tell me more.
My people have fallen prey to a serious illness, which has almost certainly taken my own mother by now. If we do not quickly find a remedy, we shall all follow her to the grave. But the Tierna Hakadaktas can help us. We are sure of that. She will know of a remedy able to heal this sickness that plagues us.
Your quest seems noble and with great respect for the life of all. You must feed the offering ward to enter into the passage and meet her once again.
I need to place a seed on the stone stele, don't I?
Yes, you must make this offering. I cannot tell you from which plant it is given, but there is a chance there are more in her dwelling. I will let you enter this one time, but treat her dwelling with respect, I ask you.
Thank you for your help.
Do not be so eager to thank me. The place you enter is ripe with dangers. As do all sacred places, it defends itself with the wild beasts that it fosters. This passage leads to a forest where the ancestors of the Tierna Hakadaktas makes her home.
And why should I fear the ancestor?
Have stories of the Nadaig been shared with you? In your language, you would call them guardians.
Yes, I even encountered one. She was magnificent.
Then you know of what I speak.
I must leave. This looks like a collection of skulls from various animals. I wonder what purpose they serve.
These skulls symbolize the animals. Through some rituals, we greet them. We thank them for feeding and dressing us, so that the next hunting season, they will once again give us the weak amongst their herds.
All of this is extremely interesting, but alas, it won't help me open the root passage. This bark is covered with little symbols. It looks like some sort of writing. though I've been led to believe the natives have no written language.
The Donegada use these symbols amongst themselves, and only they understand their meaning. It is a secret and sacred language. I cannot reveal to you what the bark contains without breaking my bond.
Can you at least tell me if they speak of a passage? A seed?
No. I would have told you.
All of this is extremely interesting, but alas, it won't help me open the root passage. All these crushed plants and these powders. She must have been preparing a potion. It might be the miraculous remedy. To be so close and yet to have no idea what to do with all this. All of this is extremely interesting, but alas, it won't help me open the root passage. This plant looks familiar. I saw some not far from here. Unfortunately, it's lost its seeds. I don't see any seeds here. The only clue we have is this plant. Let's try to find some other flowers. It might be their seed that opens the passage. These flowers. Perhaps this is where the Tiernahak Kadactus finds the seeds. These flowers are similar to those we found in the dwelling of the Tiernahak, and they bear seeds.
Those are the offering seeds we need to open the root passage. We should go try them.
This island sorcery is touching in a sense. If only its usage did not entail all of these superstitious venerations of nature spirits.
We have what we need. Let's go back to the stone stele.
This place must be some type of shrine dedicated to the demonic creatures of this island. If the Ordo Luminis could see this.
Be respectful. We are in a sacred passage, which is for initiation and meditation.
We did not come to defile this place, and we do well to hurry. The Tiernahak Kadaktis has quite the head start.
The enlightened protect me in this battle. May the shadow engulf our enemies.
There's a chasm here. The Tiernahak Kadaktis is agile. She must have jumped over it.
I'm sure we can jump over it too.
May the enlightened protect me in this battle. May the shadow engulf our enemies.
Close to it,
I hope she didn't hide in this forest. Finding her here would be quite troublesome.
It is an ancient and holy forest. A powerful place. There must be a Nadag here. We should be careful.
Que dolent que és el control, tio.
We didn't want this fight.
Qui és aquest desgraciat?
Why? Why?
In order to capture and extract from her what we need. To examine her. Dissect her, if necessary. You have done us a great service, guiding us directly to her.
Are you saying that...
Even if the creature has concocted some remedial potion, it is not the song we came for, but the bird. She leads the sorcerers of this island. She knows how they transform, and from where their powers originate. Our scientists think that the remedy is there, in their pseudo-magic, and in their mutation. Thank you for bringing her to us, and ridding us of the monster.
Do you think I'm going to allow you to manipulate me?
I don't think anything. Apologies, Excellency. But you are going to die tragically from a stray bullet intended for the monster.
May the enlightened protect me in this battle!
Mercy, Your Excellency, I surrender. How dare you ask for mercy after attempting an assassination? After revealing your conspiracy to me? You deserve nothing less than death.
I will not go down without a fight.
May the enlightened...
Tianahak? She's unconscious. We need to bring her back to her village. She needs to be tended to. We should leave right away. Is she going to survive?
Yes, she will heal. They were not shooting to kill her. And we are resistant, you know. The bond empowers us. It gives us the vigor of animals, the resilience of trees. It's undoubtedly for that reason that your alliance is so interested in us. Tianahak, he does not mean to harm you. Please, let me...
What do you want from me, Renaigse?
We were manipulated by the Alliance. We had no idea that they sought to capture you. We believed their fable of a miraculous remedy. We killed the man that wounded you. He will hunt you no longer. And their governor will have explaining to do.
I suppose I should thank you for having pulled me from their claws and bringing me here. And to have crushed the life out of a few of these parasites. There is indeed a remedy. But I doubt that I can do anything against this sickness that you describe. I don't know it. And I don't see how I could create a remedy that would heal it.
Perhaps you could try. We are desperate.
This remedy was prepared for a precise purpose. To heal those who escaped the claws of the Alliance. These monsters capture the Sinolmenoi and torture them, bleed them, put things in their veins. Those that do escape are in such agony that our care and comfort are not enough to mend them. That's why I made this remedy. Not for your Malikor. My people have never fallen prey to such sickness.
How can you be so sure? Perhaps it's your tremendous resistance that protects you from the sickness.
Perhaps. Enon mil frictimen protects us all.
Enon mil frictimen?
God of 1,000 faces in your tongue. The one and many who protects us and our island. They and we are tied and bound. As they are tied and bound to you. Their generosity to our people is infinite. But the crimes of the Renaigse enrage it. After all, perhaps your Malikor is their vengeance.
This is strange. The two tracks that we followed have led us to the same name. Enon mil frictimen.
The god of 1,000 faces. But I don't believe he is the origin of your sickness. He protects us. He watches over us.
Precisely. We know that the congregation came to this island long ago, a lot longer than we first thought. The Malachor could be a consequence of that first attempt to colonize. A curse cast at that epoch, brought back by the first defeated colonists. After all, is it not also the origin of the first guardians of the native legends? Either way, one thing is certain. If there is something, or someone on this island powerful enough to heal the Malachor, it is certainly him. We need to bring this news back to Constantine. Even if we don't have a remedy yet, he'll be happy to know that we've made progress.
Protect me in this battle! May the shadow engulf our enemies! May the shadow engulf our enemies! Protect me in this battle!
Found the Dara Grimadaram.
May the shadow engulf our enemies!
can't do that.
Avui fotrà calor, Afro. Molta.
My dear cousin, come closer and tell me what brings you.
Constantine, is it true? Are you in great pain?
This sickness is horrible, believe me. Now I understand what your mother went through. But you have not come to hear my complaints. Speak, it will give me something else to ponder.
Allow me to present Afra, an emissary of the Bridge Alliance. She is an eminent naturalist who studies local flora in an effort to find a remedy.
Your Excellency, it is a great honor.
You were part of Governor Buren's lost expedition, if I've understood correctly, were you not?
Yes, and our research would have borne fruit if it hadn't been so brutally interrupted.
I can only imagine.
Hi, Hector.
Nevertheless, you are most welcome.
Yeah, good.
Your
It's
great
pretty
learning
good.
will certainly
like
prove
it.
useful. I implore
I've been
you,
playing
my
more
dear
than
cousin.
30 hours
Do
now.
continue. We're eager to hear your news.
I wanted to inform you of our progress
It's long,
made in the
a lot
attempt to
of
discover a
missions,
cure.
the combat is
As you
pretty
advised,
simple but effective.
I followed the leads shared by our allies, none of
Story
which
is
led
sweet.
anywhere. However, they both pointed in the same direction, towards a sort of god
I
that the
recommend it.
natives worship. They call him En Onmil Frictaman, the god of many faces. He is very powerful and protects the island.
How can you be sure that it's not some sort of myth? Even a superstition?
I saw it with my own eyes take shape during a ritual. It is possible that the Malachor is the expression of its vengeance.
You are referring to the secret we unearthed. The entire continent is paying today for the errors of our grandparents. It is a terrifying perspective.
But if it were true, he must also be able to help us heal.
Katasak, my friend. I saw you flinch hearing that name. You were familiar with this being.
All of the
Sí,
Donegada
estoy en
know
Barcelona.
him, even in their flesh.
¿De dónde eres tú?
He is Tirfredi. It is with him we make our
¿Me
bond.
oyes?
But I would be surprised that he is at the origin of your sickness. He is generous and only rages when attacked and wounded.
I fear that is exactly what we did. Cousin, I know that I ask much of you, but I have no choice. You need to go and find this magical being. I won't survive for much longer. Beg him. Offer him all that he wants, but we must have this remedy. I need it.
I shall do all in my power, Constantine, I promise
Hola
you.
Héctor, yo estoy en
But I
Barcelona.
need to find a way to communicate with him. I was already sent to fight a guardian under that pretext, and it almost killed me.
There is a way so sacred that even we Donegada cannot use it. Enon Mil Frictiman decides. It is not I who judges your intentions. Go and find
Hola.
Glendan, the sage of the village council of Dorhagenadu. If he deems you worthy, he will guide you. To be able to speak with him, you must present this seal. It will prove that you are the friend of a member of the council.
I had no idea that such a talisman was required.
You have not yet been named Mal of your clan, Siora, daughter of Bladnet. When this has come to pass, we will give you a seal that allows you to give voice to your friends when visiting the council.
It is a symbol of great trust. Why are you awarding me this?
I do not wish to lose the soul who has put their life in my hands. And also, you have proven you are our friend back there in my village.
Thank you, Katasak. I will not forget this honor you bestow upon me. And thank you, dear cousin, for everything.
No, pues a la primera pregunta que me has preguntado si era un buen juego, te he dicho que sí, que está muy bien, la verdad. Ya llevo casi 40 horas jugando, es largo. La historia está muy bien, el combate es bastante simple, pero bueno, eficiente. Y está bien, si lo encuentras baratillo yo creo que vale la pena. No por 60 euros, pero sí por 30 o 40.
Viewed.
Hello, my name is Desardet. I'm the legate of the merchant congregation. May I enter?
Good day, Legate de Sarde. No. This building is closed to Renaigse.
I am Siora,
El
daughter
juego es
of
incluso
Blackney,
demasiado
daughter
largo,
of
tiene un
Neb.
montón de misiones
My mother,
secundarias.
the Mall of the Red Spears, was a
Un
member of the
montón.
council.
Y largas.
All here remember, and the Wurst Tierse. She was a courageous Mal, but you are not yet Mal in her
Buah,
stead,
pues
and you
muchas.
do not carry her seal.
Demasiado.
I
Y
am
eso que yo estoy
sorry,
fresquito,
Siora.
tengo suerte.
I cannot allow you
Pero
to
hace
enter.
calor.
I beg your pardon.
¿Tú en qué parte de Estados Unidos vives?
Here is the seal of the Denegad Katasach, of the village of Wenshavier.
And so you are a trusted friend of the great healer. He must see your true face and find it worthy. Enter. You are welcome.
I give you warm greetings, Glendan. I am Desardet, legate of the Congregation of Merchants.
Your merchant congregation sways me very slightly from my part. But you are a current of Katasach. His trust in you makes me stop and look at you. What brings you here?
I seek a remedy. My cousin, as well as many other people on our
Aquí ahora
island,
mismo
suffer
es el
from a
momento
terrible
más caluroso
sickness.
del año.
We think
Imagínate.
that only
Y aparte hay
Enon
mucha humedad.
Frictamen can help us find a cure.
Really? And Katasach
Pero bueno, siempre
sent
tenemos
you
la
to
playita,
see me.
¿sabes?
He told me that the only way to meet with your god was to come and see you. You would judge our worthiness.
Judge your intentions? Yes, that I can do. But even if I should do this, you would have many trials to pass. For the path you seek to follow has only been tread but a very few times, and you are the first Renaigse to set foot upon it. We must begin where everything begins. There is a trial. The trial of water. It will show us the reflection of your soul.
What must I do?
You must go to a cavern and tell me what you see on the seal you will find deep in its center.
And this cavern is guarded, I suppose.
That is true. But the simplest solution is not always the best. It is a path with many forks. I hope you will prove that you understand the spirit of our people and our island. Go now. Show us your true face, and return purified by the waters of the cavern.
Aquí ahora mismo son las 9 menos cuarto de la mañana.
What can you tell me about your god?
That the word God is too small to hold.
Me gusta jugar por la mañana.
He is
Es mi momento favorito.
in all and
Y
everything.
hoy no trabajo.
The
o sea
wisdom
que-
of his people, the gentleness of his rivers, the strength of his volcano. You are looking for wisdom to heal the Renaigse, but you still see it with the eyes of a sort of Donegat. He is much more than that. He is the essence of all life, of all magic, the spring.
What can you tell me about the sanctuary?
It is the most sacred place of the island. The hidden face, and still seen by all of you. Enolmil Frictimen. I protected these doors like my father before me and his father before him. And still none of us have ever entered.
Am I to gather that there has never been a High King in your family?
We are heads of the Council of Kings. And so it is prohibited for us to present ourselves. We must remain impartial.
I see. And so you cannot speak to me about what you find inside?
The heart of the island beats near here, the volcano. And I know that it is a place full of life.
I must leave. Goodbye.
Qua awelem seg.
You have spoken to Glendon as you wanted. What more can I do for you?
¿Ese vato? No entiendo tu pregunta. No sé qué significa vato.
I was asked to pass the trial of water. What do you know about it?
I have never passed it. Only those who must reveal their soul walk this path. The High Kings and Queens. It is a tremendous honor given to you, Renaigse.
Do you have any advice to give me?
I only know that the trial can be passed in many ways, and your choice will reveal the makings of your soul. One way is through strength, the other by ruse and heart. But I know no more than this. The trials are kept secret. Anything else?
Nothing else, thank you. I need to leave.
Good luck. And do not lose yourself in your own reflection.
Ah, estos son, representa que son los nativos de la isla. Son como distintas tribus y todos llevan las caras pintadas según qué tribu de forma distinta. Y llevan, pues sí, eso que llevan en el pelo. No sé exactamente qué es, no sé si son ramas o... porque tampoco se ve muy bien. Pues esta de aquí también lo es y lleva... sí, parecen como ramas. Y ese era como un líder de la tribu. Hacia dónde tengo que ir.
Siora, do you know anything about the trial that awaits us inside?
My mother passed it during the last election, but it was
También
Vinbar that
llevan
was elected
como
in
unas
the end.
marcas aquí en
Did
la
she tell
cara.
you about it?
Él
A
también lo
little,
lleva. No sé
but
qué
it
es
is a
exactamente
secret
eso. No sé si son
trial. It is
tatuajes o
important that you
manchas.
give your whole
Pero queda
heart
chulo.
to it. I know that you must choose your path in your way. Combat is not necessarily the best response, even if it allows you to get to where you are going. If you are confronted with animals, remind yourself that they must feed. And there are ways of altering food to make those who eat it fall into a deep and peaceful sleep.
Is that an idea that your mother used? It's clever. Thank you.
Ahora no me he enterado de lo que ha dicho.
Karans, I need to talk to you. I have to ask you for another favor.
I'm listening, Siora.
Do you remember the mine shakers in my village?
Yes. If I understand correctly, there was some kind of an agreement made with them.
Even though these priests would make good allies against the lions because they hate them as much as we do, my mother would never have traded the spirits of the people of the village in exchange for their help.
Sí,
And she would have wanted to be buried according to our rituals. She was deeply attached to our traditions.
So you think that they're lying?
Yes. And you understand these Renaigse better than I do. Will you investigate this matter with me?
I cannot go there now, but we will talk about it again.
Anything else?
I must pass the trial of water. Do you know anything about it?
I have heard it talked about. It is a trial that all must pass if they wish to become the High King. One says that the trial reveals the true personality of those who pass it. My mother passed it during the last election, but it was Vinbar that was elected in the end.
Did she tell you about it?
A little.
Sí, te he
But it
entendido,
is a
doctor.
secret trial. It
Tienes
is
razón.
important that you give your whole heart to it. I know that you must choose your path in your way. Combat is not necessarily the best response, even if it allows you to get to where you are going. If you are confronted with animals, remind yourself that they must feed. And there are ways of altering food to make those who eat it fall into a deep and peaceful sleep.
Is that an idea that your mother used? It's clever. Thank you.
Anything else?
I must leave you. See you later.
They're eating the old carcass. If you poured some sleeping potion on it, they'd fall asleep.
I do not have a sleeping potion on me.
May the Enlightened protect me in this battle!
Hombre, The Witcher es mucho mejor. Es más mundo abierto. Este no es tan mundo abierto. El combate de Witcher es mucho mejor. Este es muy simple.
You were freezing and you had this empty stare.
Y las animaciones, los gráficos, todo es mejor en Witcher.
Yes.
Pero que la historia está bien. Es un juego
Exactly
que
like
digo,
the lightning
si lo
struck
encuentras
tree.
baratillo,
I was
está
something
muy bien.
else for a brief moment.
Tell us. Visions like this are guides, keys for the sacred rituals.
I was in the sky. I was floating, carried by the wind, and it was a cold feeling. I was high up, and it was getting colder and colder. I felt my blood freezing in my veins. I fell to the ground and spun slowly. And then the sun warmed me. Suddenly I bounced on the ground. And I was taken by the bubbling current of this creek. Then, just like before, the vision dissipated. And I was suddenly with you again. This stone is blackened, eaten away. I think it's this stone bears the image of a storm, or perhaps the wind.
No, todavía no, lo tengo comprado, pero hasta que no me termine este no voy a empezar. Pero que tengo que resolver un puzzle y no me estoy enterando de nada. Pero tengo ganas de empezarlo. Y este todavía creo que me va a durar unas cuantas horas. A ver, ¿qué te he dicho yo antes? Tengo que hablar con esto.
Tell us again what you saw when you touched this basin.
I was in the sky.
Cielo.
I was floating, carried by the wind.
Viento.
And it was a cold feeling.
Frío.
I was high up, and it was getting colder and colder.
Sangre.
I felt my blood freezing in my veins. I fell to the ground and spun slowly. And then the sun warmed me. Suddenly I bounced on the ground. And I was taken by the bubbling current of this creek. Then, just like before, the vision dissipated. And I was suddenly with you again.
A ver, cielo. Esto es agua.
This stone is adorned with the etching of a drop of water. Here this looks like a snowflake.
Cielo.
The snow, or maybe ice. This drawing looks like an infant. Could it represent life? The drawing on this stone makes me think of fire. I'm certain.
¿Y ese bicho?
On this stone, the sun is visible.
Cielo, viento, venga, primero el viento. Vale, después frío. Sangre. Será la última. No sé si este...
Evidently, I shouldn't have lit this candle.
¿Queréis salir de en medio? Pues será el sol.
Evidently, I shouldn't have lit this candle.
Once again, these visions open gates. Try to remember them.
I was in the sky. I was floating, carried by the wind. And it was a cold feeling. I was high up, and it was getting colder and colder. I felt my blood freezing in my veins. I fell to the ground and spun slowly. And then the sun warmed me. Suddenly I bounced on the ground. And I was taken by the bubbling current of this creek. Then, just like before, the vision dissipated. And I was suddenly with you again. I need a bit of practice.
No me Ataca. Pues bé, no?
This must be the seal that Glendan spoke about. It looks like the silhouette of the mountain of Tirfredi, and a face is drawn within it.
The spirit of the volcano. One of the faces of Einon Mil Frichtemann.
Bertir to Mad on Olmanawi. I congratulate you for passing the trial. Enter.
¿Y tú, Héctor, perdón, lo estás jugando o Ghost of Tsushima? Es que estaba con el puzzle y tenía que estar allí.
And so you have returned. Can you tell me what the seal deep within the cavern brings into your mind?
A face in the mountain of Tirfredi.
Then you have seen the true face of the island when looking into her waters. And the island has seen inside you. You have given the blood of the animals that protected the entrance to the passage. You have chosen strength a first time. In choosing the path of silence, you avoided confronting the dosantats. Finally, you have completed the ritual. And in so doing, the Guardian recognized you as a wise man. You choose to trust the way of rules and wisdom. It is a difficult path, but it carries generous fruits. The island has seen your intelligence and also your compassion. The friendship of Katasach towards you no longer surprises me.
Am I authorized to encounter Einon Mil Frichtemann now? To present him with my request?
If the High King agrees, yes. We shall not oppose that decision. Only a High King or High Queen is allowed to open the sanctuary. I warned you. Your voyage is far from over.
I suppose that I'm going to need to convince them as well. Where can I find them?
I do not know. And I believe that it may be another trial on your path to find the one you seek.
Is he hiding? Has he been captured?
He disappeared several months ago. Since then we have not heard from him. He was worried about the Renaigse. The last people to have seen him, I'm told, were the most important chiefs of the clans here at the council. There was Dedra, Blatnid, Ulan, and Dunkas.
My mother, alas, can tell us nothing more.
Yes, I heard about your loss, Siora. And divorced Tirse. Mourning is a difficult time to pass.
And divorced Tirse. Thank you, Glendan.
Dedra is the Mal of the clan of the Storm Warriors. You will find her in the village of Vedlug.
I've already met her. She sent me to confront a guardian.
That sounds like her. Ulan is the Mal of the village of Vignamri, near the coast. It is said that he welcomes the Renaigse. As for Dunkas, he leads the Vigigidor. He is the chief of the Earth Healers. His village is not very far from the Dedicad and Nadages.
Very well. I will go and see them. Try to find this High King. Thank you, Glendan.
Kwa walam sek. I hope that you will find him.
Karants, I want to understand this story about the promise made to the priests. I am certain that they lied. You understand the Renagse better than I do. Will you investigate this matter with me?
Of course. Let's go.
Greenblood, my friend. Do you need something?
What happened exactly with Major Herman?
I was just a kid then. But I was sent to an elite camp, although one must say that I was gifted for my age. This is when Captain Herman took charge of me. We were beaten almost every day. We hardly slept, and he humiliated us at every opportunity. The same treatment as Rainer, Wilhelm, and the others. Except, Herman occasionally came to visit us at night. But it's something I'd rather forget. The bastard went up in flames, and all my memories along with him. Anything else?
What happened exactly with Major Herman?
Although one must say that we were beaten. The same treatment. But it's... Anything else?
I must leave you.
Glad to see you, my friend. Can I do anything for you?
Do you wish you were never given to the Nords?
How could I not be regretful? I never got to experience a mother's love or a lavish youth.
I'm genuinely sorry you did not get to live the life you were supposed to live.
It's not your fault, Desarde. I presume that it was destiny. You were supposed to be a prince, and I was supposed to be a sailor. Did you want anything else?
What did you think of your brother? Meeting him in such circumstances must have been upsetting.
I had high expectations for this encounter. I was naively hoping for some emotional reunion, and I found myself in front of a conceited and selfish idiot. Need I say more?
While it was disappointing, this encounter must have allowed you to assert yourself and sweep your regrets away.
This is true, and I'm very grateful to you for it. You helped me and accompanied me in a period of doubt. Thanks to you, I feel like myself. It's a service I will not forget. Did you want anything else?
Have you ever heard about the Darcys before?
No, I had not. As you know, there are many noble families in Serene. And there was a time when a lot of them had to give a child to the Nords.
I'm certain that they would be very proud to see that their son is now a famous captain.
I doubt it. Once we're taken away from our homes, we become anonymous. The nobility see the Nords as nothing more than a necessary evil. We are no longer their children. Did you want anything else?
What do the Nords tattoos mean?
The first tattoo we get indicates whether we're sea-born or sea-given. The rest of them tell our story. They tell of everything we've been through, our rank, but also the storms we've sailed through.
Do they also depict your heartaches?
Some of us get the name of their lover tattooed, but our faces do not reflect that kind of adventure. Did you want anything else?
Now that the Admiral has forgiven you, do you intend to set sail again?
Without a doubt, but do not worry. I will not leave you before I find out where our story leads.
I wouldn't have allowed you to leave me like this.
I don't think I need your permission. Did you want anything else?
How did you become a Nord?
As you may have guessed, I am sea-given. I was given to the Norts when I was a little child, for a reason I ignore. I think I was originally from the congregation, but I have no memory of my family. I took my first steps on the deck of a ship. That's all I can remember. Did you want anything else?
I must leave you.
Desade, I'm happy to see you. Can I do anything for you?
What did you think about that moment next to the campfire with the elders of Vigigidor?
It was strange, and a bit frustrating, to be honest. What about you? How did you feel?
Had those old sages not been there, you and I next to the fire, it could have been a romantic moment.
Oh, you are really strange, Desade. Thinking about such things at a time like this. Anything else?
Joder, estic perdent totes les reputacions.
Did you have any fellow students?
Of course. We were but a small group working with Dr. Vasily, but we were encouraged not to get too close to each other. It was more of a competition. Why? What's on your mind?
I wondered if you didn't feel alone at times.
Do you mean intimate relationships? I had a few here and there, but that did not change how lonely I felt. Body and mind have different needs, even though for some they seem to be one and the same. Anything else?
How did you feel when we visited the cave?
Astonishment, I think. I felt as if I had reached my goal, as if I was finding a long-lost treasure. It was strangely moving, I think. What about you?
It was a grace-filled moment indeed. And these rudimentary paintings taught us so much. I would never have thought that mere murals could contain so much knowledge.
Because we looked at them in a different way. To us, these paintings were more than just decorations. They were like a window into some knowledge that was completely foreign to us. I used to swear only by writings, but now I realize that there are many other ways to learn. And once more, I owe this realization to you. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart. Anything else?
Do you think that attending this ceremony has changed your world vision?
Yes, obviously. Before it, I was so focused on my own knowledge. This ritual made me understand the power of sharing, of emotions, and of the bonds between people. This new vision gives me new perspectives. A whole new life is ahead of me.
Knowledge comes in many forms, and sometimes it can't be found in books.
That is true. An experience can transform us and make us grow more than reading a book. I love exploring science and nature, but in the end, I only saw it as a way to find content for my books. And yet, the nature of the things you and I have shared seems impossible to describe. You'd have to have experienced it. And I'm glad I've experienced it with you. Anything else?
What do you think of the love that unites those young people? It really seems as if they share something special.
It's true. I don't think I've ever stumbled upon two people that were so close to one another. On the continent, where everything is political, it only happens in fairy tales. But here...
Do you ever think that you could become that close to someone?
To be honest, no. Not before I saw this young couple.
What about now?
I do not like to lose myself in vain reveries, but for some time now, I've begun to think that such sharing of ideas and feelings is in fact possible. Anything else?
I'm under the impression that you've not learned as many things as you wanted by observing Duncas's clan.
That's true. I hope to discover the physical, but instead, I don't know, the links that connect them and the power of their I wonder if this couldn't become another subject for study. If I said that in Alsard, people would think I've got learning about the native.
I must leave you.
My dear child, what can I do for you?
I'll see you later, Father.
Take care, my child.
Greenblood, my friend. Do you need something?
I must leave you.
Aquesta pobra dona porta netejant aquí un mes. La mateixa zona, tota l'estona.
Lieutenant, I demand an explanation. Tell us what is going on. We haven't heard anything about Lord D'Orsay's condition in spite of our inquiries. We are extremely worried. And then, all of a sudden, one of his guards appears, shaken and on his own, though he is part of his retinue.
Please, allow me the chance to shed some light, my lady.
Your soldier is nothing more than a coward for abandoning his highness.
Tell me, what is going on?
This soldier has just reported in. He is asking for reinforcements. He believes that Lord D'Orsay has been attacked.
He believes? He ran here without full knowledge of what happened firsthand.
I was sent on patrol far from the camp, but I heard screams, from men and from beasts. I wanted to return to camp, but then I heard a deafening sound, grinding, like a landslide. I thought then it would be best just to go and get help.
Thank you, Lieutenant. You are dismissed. I would like to have a discussion with this man alone.
Yes, sir.
My lady, could you lead these fine people into the hallway, if you would be so kind?
Certainly. I deplore this embarrassing turn of events, but know that you have my full support in all circumstances.
In the interest of avoiding a general panic, tell me precisely what happened back there.
Your cousin ordered us to escort him beyond the town limits. The islander convinced him to go on some journey.
By islander, do you mean the dedicat that came to treat his affliction?
Yes. A strange bird. Missing more than one feather, you ask me, sir. I was ordered to set up patrol along a small path, rather far from the rest of the company. I was told to protect our perimeter from anyone wandering along. According to the islander, it was the only access to their planned destination. I did my rounds for quite some time. Not a soul came along. But then I heard cries a ways off, and I went running to help. I heard an enormous crashing sound like an avalanche of rocks. So then I turned right back around.
And you ran all the way here? Do you know precisely where the company was when you heard these sounds?
No, not precisely. I hadn't gone there. But I could show you where I was posted. The islander said they were following the path, but he was quite a ways ahead when I lost sight of them.
Why didn't you go and look for yourself? To see if they had been buried by a rock slide?
What? Alone? What could I have done? It seemed of greater urgency to go and get help.
I'm still having trouble deciding if cowardice or intelligence got the best of you. But that's a question for your superiors. My cousin was quite weak. Do you know why he decided to follow the Dedicado?
His Highness was feeling much better. The potions that he was drinking must have been potent. I mean to show no disrespect to His Highness, but that islander had the high ground in the War of Wits. I wasn't privy to their counsel. I haven't the beginning of an explanation for the expedition, but your cousin was all full of enthusiasm and ordered that we set out as quick as we could make ready.
That sounds like him. What sort of mess has he gotten himself into? Again?
I am sorry, sir, but I don't know anything else I could tell you.
Dismissed, soldier. Looks like I'm going on an expedition.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, my child. What a pleasure to see someone come to us with such eagerness. Do you want to hear the word of Saint Matthias and come into the light?
Not really, Father. My name is Descobrir. I'm the legate of the merchant congregation.
Nice to meet you, Your Excellency. What can we do for you?
What exactly do you hope to do in this village?
Well, bring light to these naive souls, of course. When we spread the word of Saint Matthias, I'm sure they will embrace our faith with fervor.
Anything else, my child?
We would like to know more about the agreement you supposedly sealed with Bladnid.
I do not see how our agreement concerns the congregation. But since you are asking us, we swore to provide this village with all our support in their fight against the Alliance.
In exchange, its inhabitants will have to renounce their pagan cult and turn towards the light.
My mother would never have made such an agreement. She's the one who encouraged me to become a Donegad.
The Queen had understood that the light was the only true path, even if she was attached to traditions. It is for this reason that we have accepted to seal our agreement according to your own rituals.
She had an engraver come to Falristal. He carved your strange symbols in the stone.
I do not believe a single word of this. You, the people of the light, are nothing but liars.
You would do well to hold your tongue, young lady. This village is now under our spiritual authority.
By not respecting us, you are committing blasphemy. And blasphemy is a crime that we punish severely.
Because you think that you can administer justice here. I am the daughter of Bladnid, and you are...
Siora, let's not get into another battle and make new enemies. Let's go find this stone.
That is an excellent idea. Then you will see that we are telling the truth.
Protect me in this battle.
Joder, pavo. Para de Mauret.
Here's the stone we were looking for. It is destroyed. We can no longer decipher the symbols. Strange, isn't it?
This stone was damaged on purpose. We will never know the precise terms of the agreement.
There may be a way. Promises in stone are a very ancient tradition. Those who want to make these agreements must turn to a keeper of promises. An artisan who makes the stone speak. There are but a few. We did not have one in our village before Karadek's arrival. He must be the one who engraved this stone.
I thought you could not write.
The Donegada have a secret writing that the keepers of promises always learn. Those who want to seal a promise tell them to write, and they take care of it. Strange. It looks like no one's there, but the door's left open.
Empty. Everything is broken and turned upside down. A sculpted engraved stone. What happened here?
It seems like there was a fight. Everything is scattered around.
It's as if someone wanted to meticulously destroy everything in this workshop.
The owner must have left in a hurry, taking a few things and destroying the rest.
Unless someone else did this. We must find Karadeg.
Do you know where he might be?
This engraved stone bears the mark of Baraeg Nodas, Donkas's clan. Do you remember him? Karadeg originally belonged to this clan. He may have returned.
Let's go to Vigigador, and we'll find out.
Yigido.
What brings you here on Manawi?
We're looking for Karadeg, the Keeper of Promises.
Did he come back to your village?
He did come, and then he left. We could not take him back.
Did you exile him? Why?
He is the one who left. He disagreed with our stance on the Renaigse. He thought that we should be fighting them, throwing them back to the sea. This is why he joined the Gaesrad. And I did not want him to return if it meant that he would bring his hatred with him.
Do you know where he might have gone?
He feared someone or something, and he wanted to hide. He must have left for the woods, south of here. He knows the area well.
Is there anything else?
Did you receive any news from Karadeg?
No. He must still be hiding in the woods. Further,
is there anything else?
I seek Vinbar, your High King. I was told you were among the last to have seen him.
I do not know if that is true. Others most certainly crossed his path after me. But since you have helped our island, it is only right that I help you in return. The last time I saw him, we were in Dorhat Genedu. He wanted us to help him decide what we should do about you. You, the Renaigse. Dedra and Bladnid wanted us to spill blood and chase you from our lands. Ulan's words were all honey, as is his talent, and wanted us to welcome you with open arms. I attempted, as is my wont, to follow the path of wisdom, that which winds between the others. Vinbar was not convinced by any of us. He decided to turn to a far greater source of wisdom. He left us to go to the sanctuary to see Anonmil Frichtimen.
Would he still be there?
I do not think so. The Great Mind must have guided his footsteps in a direction beyond our understanding. But he would not have abandoned his people without first seeing his own one last time. You should go to Wenshava. Maybe there they would know where you could find him.
Thank you, Dunkas. It is Karadeg. He's over there.
Siora, Bertir Tumad Donegat. What are you doing with these strangers?
These strangers are my friends, Karadeg. You can speak in front of them without fear.
What do you want?
Tell me about your role as Keeper of Promises. What does it consist of?
Most words must be free, and able to fly like birdsong. But some words must survive those who utter them. So they call on the Keepers of Promises. Those who want to become one must win the trust of the Donegada and prove their wisdom. Then they teach us the words of stone. And when someone wants to seal a promise, we offer them those words.
So you're a kind of cleric? Thank you, Karadeg.
Do you want to know anything else?
We would like to ask you about a stone you supposedly engraved.
It is the stone of the Renaigse, isn't it? I should never have accepted to seal such a promise. I did not like them, but I could not refuse to fulfill my duty. Not when Bladnid was demanding it. And now that she is no longer with us, these Monasinaiga are chasing me.
It is because you are the last person to know what was engraved on it. The stone has been destroyed.
I kept the piece of tree bark in which I prepared the glyphs. All the details are there.
With this tree bark, we could verify what my mother promised. Can you give it to us?
No, Donegad. I do not mean to disrespect you, but I will not. Renaigse only bring us trouble, and you come with them. They will disappoint you just like they disappointed your mother. I do not want to deal with them ever again. They threaten my life, and because of them, I am forced to hide here.
In that case, maybe we should tell the priests about your hideout. How about that?
Why would you do that? They would kill me.
I cannot believe you would say that.
This man's hatred of the settlers has made him blind. That he'd rather let his village fall into their hands than help us. He leaves me no choice.
Here, take this damned bark and leave me alone. Leave!
What do these glyphs say?
That we will assist the priests in their war against the lions, and they must help us in return. There is nothing about the spirits of the people of the village, or renouncing our traditions. I knew they were lying. Let's show this to Ascent.
Rápido, ¿no? Joder. Oh.
Siora, Asir, always with your new friends. Bertir to Madiseld, I'm happy to see you. What do you want?
Azeld, about this pact your mother supposedly made with the priests.
Yes. Did you find anything new?
We went to Falristel to see the stone.
Were you able to read it, Siora? No, because it was destroyed by someone. I am certain that the priests did it to protect their lies. You're probably right, but for as long as we cannot prove it...
We retrieved the piece of tree bark that Karadeg used as a model.
Siora, what's written on it? Mother promised to help them against the lions, and they promised to help us in return. There's nothing mentioned about them settling here, and even less about them being entitled to the spirits of the people of our village. So they lied. They mocked us, and insulted the memory of our mother. I think it's high time they left. Don't you agree? I think so too. Come on, let's go. You lied to us. You took us for gullible children. Leave this village at once. You will never be welcome here again.
But if you want our help with the Alliance, your people must convert to the light.
By lying, you have insulted the memory of the Queen. The entire village will be happy to make you pay for your affront if they hear about it. You do well to leave before having to face their wrath.
We are not here to shed blood.
Very well, we're leaving. But we will not forget your role in this matter, Your Excellency.
I did not think they would leave of their own accord. Thank you, Anol Manawi. Thanks to you, we managed to chase away these lawyers. And we will be able to perform our rituals and give our mother back to the earth. Yes. Thank you. Our village is in your debt. Siora, I will need you for the ritual. Will you help me? Of course, Asir. Karans, do you need something?
How did you know that those missionaries were lying? After all, given the situation, your mother could have wanted to form an alliance.
I knew my mother well. We were close. She would never have renounced her beliefs to forge an alliance.
She could have done it out of pure necessity. The forces of the Alliance are fearsome.
You do not understand. My people are defined above all by their beliefs. Our bond to this island is our soul. Renouncing it to avoid one enemy means letting another enemy win. Anything else?
Why are you and your sister so different?
If you're talking about physical differences, they're linked to the fact that Iseld is not on Olmenawi. When we were little, we were perfectly identical. But our tempers were always different.
What kind of child were you?
I suppose I was very curious and studious. I loved when our father taught me the name of some plants and how they could be used.
Then you haven't changed. Isn't it out of the same curiosity that you chose to follow me?
At first, perhaps. But the more I know you, the more I find other reasons to stay with you. Anything else?
I must leave you. See you later. This is the camp that Constantine's escort must have established.
It looks more like a battlefield. I hope the Donegad and your cousin survived the fight.
Search the zone. Let's see if we can find any clues as to what's happened here. The tents were lacerated by what looks like claws. And there are traces of blood everywhere. Some of these men must have been attacked in their sleep. By beasts? Most of the weapons are missing. Our soldiers wouldn't have taken a rest without defenses. Our soldiers were attacked by surprise, and there were animals among the assailants. However, our men reacted properly. They were armed and they fled as best they could. There are no bodies, and no sign of Constantine or Catasac's presence here. Perhaps they were in another place, and the soldiers wanted to join them. We need to follow the tracks. This area has been trampled. An entire stampede passed by here. Our soldiers must have fled the zone and taken this path followed by their assailants. This is a sacred place of a native cult. No doubt this is where Catasac and Constantine were going.
It isn't really a place of a cult, but rather a place of anchoring. A place where Donegada perform a ritual to become Sinol Menawi. These places are charged with great energy. Perhaps Catasac wanted to use it to bring relief to your cousin.
Perhaps. There are bodies, and without a doubt there was fighting here. Search the place. Let's see what we are able to find. The corpses of both men and beasts. These soldiers fought dearly until the end. Neither Constantine nor Catasac are among them. A crater, without a doubt caused by an explosive potion. The soldiers might have been carrying them. They must have been desperate to have taken such drastic measures. This blade is a native ritual knife, and this bowl contained a potion. Someone wanted to perform a ritual here. Could Catasac have found a better means to alleviate Constantine's symptoms? Constantine and Catasac must have been visiting this place. Perhaps performing some sort of healing ritual. When the attack took place, the soldiers intervened, and many fell during the fight. But a group was able to escape down this path. We need to continue following their tracks. More tracks. Footprints. They must have fled this way. Strange. These trees look half calcinated, as if they were exposed to immense heat. These weapons are in terrible condition. Whatever did these men come up against? Another burnt tree. This path seems to have been scorched in flames. I can't believe that our soldiers could be carrying so many explosive potions. These poor soldiers were torn to pieces. Animals again? Or something else? New footprints. It looks as if a group met up with them and took this path. There was more fighting over here. There are not only the corpses of our own men, but where could these other soldiers have come from? More signs of explosions. But what were they doing with all these explosives on?
Protect me in this battle! Shadow engulf our enemies!
Footprints. Only a handful made it up to here. path stops on this overhang, and despite signs of a skirmish, I can't see any sign of Constantine or Catisac.
Protect me in this battle!
These rocks were broken, as if they had taken cannon fire. What could have happened here? I don't recognize these men. Still more unknown soldiers. Could they have been responsible for the attack? This one is carrying a letter. Let's see. These vials look familiar. Catisac used the very same to stock his potions. He must have come here. I'm going to pick them up. According to this note, this troop came from an outpost of the Bridge Alliance close by. A patrol, no doubt. Could the bridge in some way be linked to this attack? That makes no sense. I recognize this sack. It's my cousin's. Oh, Constantine, what have you gotten yourself into again? Very well. Let's sum things up. Constantine and Catisac definitely came through here to perform some sort of ritual, but they were attacked. An attack obviously involving wild animals. And then there are these traces of inexplicable flames. Could it be magic?
You cannot suspect my people are behind this attack. You have strayed far from the path. No one would have attacked Catisac.
Unless he himself was behind it. He is a powerful dedicat. The beasts obey him.
How could you even think something like that? He is a healer. He brought comfort to your cousin.
Perhaps he only did it to gain our trust. With Constantine captive, he now has leverage to apply to the colonists and force them to accept his conditions. But in all truth, I have no idea what to think. But regardless of who is guilty, I must find my cousin. We could return to Wen Xavier to learn more. Perhaps Catisac returned there. Or maybe his Voglendai could tell us where to find him. We are also going to have to visit the outpost. Their soldiers were involved in the combat, or at least the end of it. They must have some stories for us.
That trail seems a better one to follow. Catisac is a good man, but the soldiers and the lions have already betrayed you.
That's true. But I do not see how they could have made these animals obey them. However, one way or another, Constantine is in danger. Let us be on our way without further delay.
colonials. You must have gotten lost to have come this far from nowhere. To whom do I owe the honor?
Desade. I am legate of the congregation of merchants on this island.
A legate? Here? Pardon my dismay, but we don't get many official sorts around here. Captain Idris. I am the ranking officer in charge of this Bridge Alliance outpost. What can I do for you, sir?
I'm looking for Constantin Dorsey, the island governor of the congregation of merchants.
A governor? Here? Whatever would he be doing in this rattle?
My cousin was part of an expedition in this region. His men and his camp were attacked. They nearly all died. But we found no trace of his body, which has us hoping that he may still be alive. Wounded and holding up somewhere, or even captured.
Have you cast your suspicions in our direction? I hope this is a joke. We've had neither reinforcements nor supplies for weeks. In my book, we've been totally forgotten. I wouldn't risk the few lives remaining to attack a governor's camp. I'm not crazy. I'm truly sorry for your cousin, Excellency, but we haven't seen him. And we definitely haven't kidnapped him. The region is dangerous. The natives are heartless. You should be looking in their direction.
You do know that we found the bodies of several men from the garrison up there, don't you?
How could you be sure?
One of them was carrying a note, signed by your hand.
And they are dead. I had hoped they'd have survived and would eventually return.
Explain yourself, Captain. What were your men doing on the clifftop?
They were monitoring the zone. They were to warn us of any troop movements. We have lost too many men to surprise attacks. We decided to take initiative and be ready. Yesterday, we heard screams and saw some strange lights up there. But I was hoping...
And you didn't go and see for yourself? You hear screams, certainly those of your own men, and you don't do anything.
So the last of my men give up their lives for nothing as well? You can think of me as a coward if you like. But me, I'm taking no more unnecessary risks.
Why do I have the feeling that you're holding something back from me? I understand what you're feeling. The pain of seeing your men fall one after the other. The feeling of being abandoned by your leaders. The anger. But if you know anything, speak. My cousin is not one of them.
I don't know what to tell you, Excellency. I haven't stepped a foot outside camp.
I can see how difficult your present situation has become. I'm certain you haven't been paid either for quite some time. I cannot solve all of your problems. But what would you say if I took care of that one, at least?
A little gold would certainly improve the morale of my men. One of the men I posted there returned during the night.
A survivor? Excellent. Did he tell you what happened?
He wasn't able to say a word. He collapsed unconscious 2 steps past the doorway. Our nurse sits with him, but there is little hope that he will come back to himself. His wounds are extremely serious. He's just refusing to die.
I'm sorry to hear that, Captain. Perhaps we could do something for him.
Go and see the nurse. Perhaps you can do something to help the poor boy. I can't take it anymore. To lose another man. Anything else?
Concerning the young man that survived.
Did you see the nurse?
Not yet.
Really? This boy... Anything?
I need to be going.
I would very much like to do the same. Safe journey, Your Excellency.
What are you doing there? This is an infirmary!
I know. I've come to see the wounded soldier. The captain told me you might need my help.
That is very kind of him. But alas, it's a little late.
What are you saying? Is the soldier...
No, he still lives. But I've been asking the captain for weeks to escort me on a mission to replenish my stocks. I no longer have a single remedy. And now that we have a wounded patient, I can only wipe water on his brow and hope.
Do you know what type of remedy would allow him to survive?
Yes, at least I think so. It's a known potion that heals burns.
I see. Give me the recipe. We'll go and see that it's prepared for you.
Thank you. Because of you, this poor boy might be able to survive his wounds. Were you able to concoct the potion against burns?
Yes, I was. Might we administer it?
Give it to me. I'll take care of this. We must wait and be patient now.
Will he make it?
I hope so. We'll know soon enough. This potion is extremely potent.
And if he survives, when could we speak to him?
Come back tomorrow at the same time. We'll know more then.
Very well. I'll come back tomorrow.
See you soon. And thank you again for your help.
Karans, could you help me once more?
What is it?
I must prepare the ritual for our mother's funeral, and I think that I will need your help.
But your sister will be there. Surely you'd rather be together.
For the ritual, yes, it will only be the two of us. But before that, your support would be a great help. Will you come with me?
Of course. I'd be happy to be by your side. Let's go. Hello, soldier. How are you doing?
Better. A lot better. Are you the one who saved me? The nurse told me.
I simply prepared the potion that she told me how to make. Nothing more. Could you tell me what happened during the attack?
I will try. They're not really memories I'm fond to bring back. A lot of my friends died up there. We were posted up on the peak to follow rebel movement. It had been a couple of days, and we heard sounds of fighting not far from our position. Men were screaming. In our own language. So we went to see what was happening. Soldiers of the Coin Guard and an islander were trying to protect a young man. He seemed dire ill.
Constantine Katasak and his escort. Who were they fighting against?
Dozens of wild animals. They seemed completely enraged and intent on devouring them. And there were flames.
Flames? Where were they coming from?
I don't know. My friends and other soldiers fell one after the other. I didn't see everything. All was blood and confusion with beasts and fire. But I thought I saw another islander. Big. He's the one who took the sickened man. There was practically no one left on the battlefield. I was wounded and I passed out. I came to when I heard voices of islanders approaching. Rebels. I thought to myself, they're coming to finish off the wounded. I got up with difficulty and fled. I dragged myself here. And you know the rest.
I'm going to have to go and find these rebels.
You shouldn't do that. They killed all of my friends. You take a great risk.
That's enough. Rest now. You're still far from having recovered.
Yes, it's best I leave now. I've learned enough. I'll have a word with your captain. Goodbye.
Excellency, I was told that you saved my soldier. Thank you. You can't imagine what this means to us.
Please. I did nothing more than follow the instructions your nurse gave me.
Did you learn what you needed to learn?
Yes. I was able to question your man and he told me what he saw. He and his company heard sounds of the attack, and they went to investigate. My cousin's escort were already nearly annihilated by animals that jumped out from all sides. A strange sorcerer controlled them. It was he that took my cousin.
One of those rebel savages, no doubt. I knew that they'd be behind all of this. They must have learned that an important man was in the region and thought he would make the perfect hostage. I'm sorry. I would give you some men, but...
Don't apologize. I know where the camp can be found, and if my cousin is there, I will free him.
Like you freed the scholars. You're a good man, Excellency. Thank you again for saving my soldier.
I need to be going.
I would very much like to do the same. Safe journey, Your Excellency.
Siora, Asir. Always with your new friends. Bertir to Madiseld, I'm happy to see you. What do you want?
I'm only here to accompany Siora.
I came to give our mother back to the earth, Iselt. It is high time we did, I know. Performing the ritual might help me feel less empty. Iselt, I miss her too. Did you go to Vasrigan? No. Preparing the place is the role of the Donegada. I was afraid I would not do things properly.
Protect me in this battle!
We are approaching Vasrigan. This is where I will perform the ritual. This burial mound has been the final resting place of our queens for generations. It must be prepared before we can start the ritual.
I com se suposa que he d'anar jo aquí? Oh, que pesat. Pesat.
Something's wrong. Normally, you would hear the birds singing in this place.
What do you mean?
And yet everything seems normal to you.
You never see any around here. They must have nested in the shadow of the burial mound.
In that case, we have no choice but to destroy their nests. Otherwise, they'll just keep coming back.
You are right. We cannot let these carnivores roam so close to the remains. Close to
enlighten protect me in this battle. May the fire engulf our enemies.
Will no longer trouble the peace of our queen. All we have to do now is to take care of the ceremony.
Is there anything else to prepare?
Of course. We will need some sensors crafted especially for the ritual.
Where can we find them?
It would be ideal if we could craft them ourselves, but otherwise the village artisan probably sells them. And I will also need some mortuary lotion. I will have to coat my mother's body with it before giving her back to the earth. I will give you a list of all the ingredients because we will have to prepare it ourselves. The merchants won't sell it. Once we have gathered these last items, then Isolde and I will be able to perform the ritual. I thank you for being by my side and helping me the way you are. It means a lot to me.
Don't mention it, Siora.
I per què em feu venir aquí? Ja ho podríem haver fet abans, no? Joder. No vull combatre més.
Protect me in this battle. May the fire engulf our enemies. May the enlightened protect me in this battle.
We have all that we need. Let's go back to the burial mound to put everything in place. Here we are. It is on this stone altar that we will place the body of my mother. We must place a censer where her head will be, and another near her feet. And then you will have done everything you could to help me. And I am infinitely grateful for it. Your presence by my side means a lot to me. But only my sister and I can participate in the ceremony. This is how our ritual of the dead is performed. Do you understand?
My dear child, what can I do for you?
I'll see you later, Father.
Take care, my child.
Karans, do you need something?
I must leave you. See you later.
There. Everything is in place. Thanks again, Honor Manawi. My sister should be joining me soon. You should wait outside. These rituals are demanding. But they help us to say goodbye to those we love. You have been a true friend. A Karans, accepting to help me the way you did. Thank you. I will never forget the kindness you displayed. Conforming to our customs and staying by my side.
It's only natural, Siora. I know what it feels like to lose someone who is dear to you.
We should go now. It is time to return to the living. Karans, do you need something?
What do you intend to do now? Will you become the dedicado of your clan again?
I will most likely do it, but not now. I still have a lot to discover by your side.
I'm very glad to be able to enjoy your presence a while longer.
Thank you for your kindness, Honor Manawi. I am also happy to be with you too. Anything else?
I must leave you. See you later.
Karantz, do you need something?
I must leave you. See you later.
Dia, però che pesat. Podríeu treure els cossos, no, dels vostres companys?
Hello.
Renaigse, there you are again. What do you want?
To speak to you about my cousin's capture and the massacre of his escort. A soldier from the nearby outpost survived and told us that you were present on the battlefield.
You dare come here and accuse us of taking him? Let me throw him out this Renaigse and his Ilkteren. May they receive this punishment for their arrogance.
I know that you see us as your enemies, but we are not here to harm you. I only seek to find the man I consider to be my brother, as well as the man who is protecting him. Katisach, one of your greatest Donegada.
No Donea Exregal would attack Katasach.
If you didn't attack him, you must know what happened to them. I was told that an islander took my cousin away. Perhaps your men were there to aid them.
We do not have your cousin, and we do not know what happened to him. As for Katasach, and the worst, Tire, he died from his wounds. That night, we heard the sounds of a terrible combat. The ground shook all the way to our homes. We went to see, but we arrived too late. The last breath of Katasach had returned to the wind when we arrived there, and many of the Renaigse were dead. We could do no more. We carried the body of the Donegad and brought it here.
He gave his life to protect Constantine. May he rest in peace. This request might surprise you, but we would like to see him.
Why? What do you want to do with him, Renaigse?
Examine him to understand what killed him. We were told that an island native was there and that he likely led the attack.
No Donea Exregal would attack Katasach. You have been lied to, or they were mistaken.
That is the very reason I need to see his body. To understand.
You may see him. But if you desecrate his body, you will pay for this offense with your life.
Katisach. Seeing the state of his body. I hate myself for having suspected him. Forgive me, Donegad. To have doubted your loyalty and even more for what we are about to do. Now then. Let's see what story this corpse has to tell. Afra would know how to get information from this body. I'll need to go and find her. Afra would know how to get information from this body. I'll need to go and find her. Afra would know how to get information from this body. I'll need to go and find her.
Seria. És que... És el moment de plegar.